You don't like shit while you're going through it, right? But once you learn the lesson, you never want to give it back, right? It's like you suffered it, you survived, you took a lesson from it. Now it's like the things that you have suffered are in your eyes when you talk to your son.
We out here on vacation in the Bahamas, another beautiful day. Check it out, check it out. Boom. I want to talk to y'all for a minute.
Will Smith isn't just being talked about for that shocking Oscars moment with Chris Rock, because now people are digging up old dirt and saying there's way more going on behind closed doors. According to insiders, the so-called receipts were sitting in plain sight this whole time, but nobody was paying attention until now.
Here's the thing, and one of the things that I learned.
What's the message, too?
Every single person is having a hard time. Every single person you drive past on the freeway, every single person you walk by in that store, that person that looks like an asshole is they might be being an asshole right now. At the moment, they're having a hard time, you know? And that was one of the major epiphanies that is like fueling this next phase of my artistry. It's like, oh, it's not some people are having a hard time. Every single person. And you never know when that word that you say or that thing that you do is going to break somebody. And if you're going to be a tipping point in somebody's life, do you want to be the tipping point that sends them down? Or do you want to be the tipping point that lifts them back up?
Back then, everyone thought Will was just taking a young actor named Bryshere under his wing, showing him how the Hollywood game really works. But whispers started spreading fast that this mentorship went way beyond just guidance, with folks claiming Bryshere started catching deep feelings during that time. Then, just as quick as his big break came, word is he got completely pushed out, iced by the industry, and left watching his shot at fame crumble. When Jaguar spoke up about it, many dismissed everything, saying she was just making it up. But now, with lawsuits piling up and people from Will's own circle starting to spill, suddenly this story doesn't sound so far-fetched anymore. Something's definitely stirring, and everyone's watching to see what surfaces next.
He said a lot.
He said everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he was sharing females, and you don't allow. He's a Kirk. Well, no, that your husband was doing things to boys and did stuff to your son, and you ain't about it. Malak told me everything.
They're good friend who.
Malak told me. Jay.
The big question still won't die down. Was this really just mentorship, or did things get a lot more personal behind closed doors? And where exactly did Jada fit into all of this, if she even knew anything at all?
Were you ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were gonna say no.
Oh my God, that dude. And you know, and that was in the early days.
Yeah.
That was in the early days, and it was like, that was a big regret for me too, because I could never open up to interact with Pac, you know, and because we had a little bit of a thing, right? Because you know, they grew up together, and you know, they loved each other, but they never had that, you know, they never had a relationship, but they had come into that age where now that was a possibility, and then Jada was with me, you know, so you know, Pac had a little thing on that. But she just loved him like he was the image of perfection.
For those who don't know much about Bryshere's story, his fall from grace was messy, fast, and painfully public. It all began when his former manager, Charlie Mack, linked him up with Will and Diddy for what everyone thought was a golden career-building opportunity. But from the moment that deal went down, everything flipped.
You can't be more valuable than your suffering. And that's a hard idea.
That's right.
You learn in this world by getting smashed. That's how
That's when
life
you learn the most.
teaches.
That's when you learn the most.
It's like, that's a sound shot to you.
Reports say Bryshere's mother, Andrea, had a gut feeling something wasn't quite right, that this wasn't just standard Hollywood mentorship. Still, sources claim she agreed to the arrangement after being promised serious financial backing that could change their lives. But after that, Bryshere's whole path took a dark turn, and nothing was ever the same again. Now, people are whispering that Andrea may have unknowingly handed her own son over, believing she was securing his future. Meanwhile, Bryshere thought two of the biggest names in the business were about to level him up, but insiders are saying their real intentions might have had nothing to do with boosting his career at all. Something about this deal just doesn't sit right.
He tried to catch me in the
Kiss your started on Thai television before. You love it. Kiss him. Kiss your like on Thai television. Kiss him. No wrong. Are you okay?
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yes.
How much work? Stop this one. I can't stop it.
You still think you can coach the chair?
Still another.
You know I love him, Ellen. I love him.
After that so-called mentorship with Will ended, Bryshere's rise came to a crashing stop. His once promising career completely froze, and soon his name started showing up in police reports instead of casting calls. People couldn't help but compare his downfall to Orlando Brown's, saying it looked like another Hollywood star burning out right before everyone's eyes. Then things got even darker in 2020. Bryshere was arrested after his wife accused him of a violent altercation. Reports say she was so terrified she ran straight to a gas station begging for help, and that's when police stepped in. It shocked fans who remembered him as that rising young actor with everything ahead of him. But the trouble didn't stop there. In 2022, he got arrested again, this time after another domestic dispute with a woman he was reportedly dating. The whole thing exploded online once photos and videos surfaced, and the internet went wild. One comment said, "Wow, he doesn't even look the same," while another claimed they set him up, made him lose his mind. As the chaos spread, more people started whispering that old Hollywood connections were coming back to haunt him in ways no one expected. And right when it seemed like things couldn't get messier, Will Smith's former close friend and assistant, Bilal, suddenly jumped into the mix, dropping explosive claims about Will's private life that sent social media into total meltdown.
Or were they truly having problems?
Well, of course they were having problems, but once again, Jada was the woman that everybody wanted, and Will needed that validation to have that type of woman. Although Cherie was beautiful,
Well, she's better.
but Cherie wasn't doing no movies.
Even though people kept saying these were still just allegations with zero confirmed proof, Bilal didn't back down at all. He went all in. He claimed that Will personally admitted to crossing some serious lines with a younger actor, and that it allegedly happened without consent. The second those words hit the internet, everything blew up. Suddenly, this wasn't just celebrity drama anymore. It was a full-blown scandal that had everyone talking non-stop. But Bilal didn't stop there. He described a shocking moment where he said he walked into a private room and saw Will in an intimate situation with another actor. He didn't try to make it sound romantic or exaggerated. It came off raw, real, and completely unexpected. The way he told it had people frozen, feeling like they were hearing something they were never supposed to know. The internet couldn't decide what to believe, but one thing was clear: this story had just crossed into dangerous new territory. When Bilal dropped those wild claims, Will stayed completely silent, but Jada, she wasn't staying quiet for a second. She clapped back hard, threatening to sue Bilal if he didn't take back everything he said. But instead of backing down, Bilal doubled down. He showed no fear at all and jumped right into another interview, basically daring her to go ahead and make that lawsuit real. Then he took it up a notch, hinting that if Jada didn't actually follow through, he had even more explosive information about Will he was ready to unleash. It felt like a high-stakes game of poker playing out in public, everyone watching to see who would blink first. The internet was in total chaos, waiting to see if Jada would actually pull the trigger or if Bilal would drop more bombshells.
Cherie caught Will in bed with Benny Medina. So
Who?
yeah, Benny Medina. Benny Medina's who the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is based off, and he's a big talent manager. He had J-Lo, Puffy, a bunch of other. He had Will at one point.
And just when people thought things couldn't get crazier, Bilal went back for another interview, this time taking it way further. He made shocking new claims about what Will allegedly did to Bryshere, and once again, the internet completely froze. Up to that point, Bilal had mainly focused on Will's private life, but now he was calling out something much darker. He said those long whispered stories about powerful people using mentorships as leverage weren't just rumors, and that he personally saw Bryshere being pulled straight into that world. The whole thing sounded like a twisted Hollywood nightmare playing out in real time. According to Bilal, the damage didn't end once those so-called mentorships were over. It actually got worse. He claimed that instead of letting people walk away and rebuild, Bryshere was quietly passed around within certain Hollywood circles, leaving him completely drained, mentally and emotionally. Bilal painted a haunting picture of someone being used up, tossed aside, and left to pick up the pieces with no safety net in sight. He even circled back to Bryshere's situation, saying the public only knows a fraction of what really went down. And the thing is, Bilal wasn't just some random outsider stirring the pot. He reminded everyone that he used to be Will's assistant, saying he witnessed these situations up close and personal. That connection made his words hit a whole lot harder, and people online couldn't ignore it. Bilal claimed that part of his job as Will's assistant was to stay close to Bryshere during that so-called mentorship, making sure everything looked smooth from the outside. But behind the scenes, it was totally different. According to Bilal, Bryshere was getting special treatment, extra access, private meetings, and way more attention than anyone expected. And Bilal hinted that during a certain trip to Chicago, something went down that changed everything. Bryshere finally opened up about the intense pressure he faced and the heavy expectations that came from powerful people in the industry. What began as a golden chance for guidance and success allegedly twisted into something way more emotional. Sources now claim that Bryshere started catching real feelings, believing he had found loyalty, safety, and long-term protection in that bond. In his eyes, this wasn't business anymore. It felt deeply personal.
So I go towards him, and he said to me, he said, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer.
But according to the story, everything shifted once Bryshere got attached. Suddenly, that open access he once had started disappearing. Calls stopped getting answered, invites vanished, and the same doors that were once wide open began slamming shut. It said that once he was no longer seen as useful, or worse, seen as a risk, the quiet shutdown began. From there, his career started running into invisible walls that no one could publicly explain. Then came the next shocker. Jaguar dropped another bombshell that left everyone speechless. She claimed that not long after Cassie filed her own lawsuit, Bryshere was also in talks with lawyers, preparing to take legal action against both Will and Diddy. But according to her, those plans never saw the light of day because Bryshere's life was allegedly threatened. She said the warning sent a chilling message that scared him into total silence, and from that moment on, everything about his story went dark. Jaguar took things to a whole new level when she claimed there's a hidden recording floating around, allegedly involving some major names like Justin, Will, Jaden, Diddy, and Bryshere. She said it was captured during what she described as a wild, out-of-control private gathering. Even though she didn't show any actual proof, just saying that out loud sent the internet into total chaos. Social media exploded with people questioning everything they thought they knew about these stars. When it comes to that mysterious lawsuit Jaguar keeps teasing, a lot of people believe she's referring to the rumored $50 million legal action, supposedly aimed at both Diddy and Will. Bryshere's name has been linked to this situation before, and insiders say that connection might not be random at all. The whole story first surfaced through a viral blind item that set gossip blogs on fire. That post claimed a major entertainment figure was secretly preparing legal paperwork behind the scenes, collecting statements, evidence, and building a case that could rock the industry to its core. Whether it's real or just internet talk, the suspense around it has everyone watching closely, waiting to see if that lawsuit actually drops. Once that rumor hit the internet, people went wild connecting the dots, wondering if this was the exact same case Jaguar had been hitting at all along. The blind item never dropped names, but the clues were loud and clear. It talked about a former insider with first-hand knowledge, legal backing already in place, and serious support lined up, until suddenly everything just went silent. What really caught people's attention was how fast that silence hit, like someone flipped a switch overnight. According to the rumor mill, pressure started coming from every direction. Friends went ghost, calls stopped going through, and insiders claimed quiet warnings started making their rounds behind closed doors. The message was clear to anyone paying attention. Pushing forward could bring some real consequences. Then came the biggest red flag. Media coverage started vanishing. Articles disappeared without explanation, comment sections were locked down, and certain platforms just stopped boosting the topic completely. People online began saying this couldn't just be a coincidence, it had to be coordinated. Now everyone's asking the same chilling question over and over. Who's really pulling the strings behind all this silence? If none of this was real, then why did everything go silent so fast? And who's actually benefiting from keeping it all buried? That sudden blackout alone has people side-eyeing the whole situation harder than ever. The real red flag, though, is the pattern. Every single time someone gets close to pushing this story forward, boom, something happens to shut it down completely.
I got into an entanglement with August, that's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes.
Deals mysteriously fall apart, interviews get canceled last minute, and the person at the center of it all suddenly disappears from public view almost overnight. It's like the moment anyone starts getting too close to the truth, the whole system resets itself. Online detectives have been piecing it together, pointing out how the same powerful names always seem to stay protected, while smaller players end up taking all the hits. The rich and connected keep moving freely, untouched and unbothered, while everyone else gets buried under backlash, stress, and total isolation. It's got people asking, how deep does this really go? And who's making sure the truth never gets out? That power imbalance has people asking some serious questions. Insiders are saying fear runs deep in these circles, real fear. They claim folks are terrified of being blacklisted, losing career opportunities, or becoming the next target of a public smear campaign. So instead of speaking up, they play it safe, keep the heads down, and fall right in line. At this point, the story is no longer just about messy accusations. It's about control and influence. It's about how quickly the narrative can be twisted or buried the moment too much truth gets a little too close to the surface. And the longer that silence drags on, the louder it starts to feel, like the whole industry is holding its breath. Now more people are stepping back and looking at the bigger picture. This isn't just one rumor or one brave voice trying to be heard. It's about an entire system that allegedly protects power at all costs. And the scariest part is starting to look like the silence itself is the biggest evidence of all. Every time someone dares to speak up, the same pattern hits all over again. The accusations get brushed off as crazy, and the whistleblowers instantly get labeled as unstable. It's like clockwork, the cycle just keeps spinning. What's wild is how fast public sympathy flips. One minute people are asking real questions, trying to make sense of it all, and the next, boom, the attention shifts to tearing down the person who spoke up. Suddenly, old mistakes get dragged back into the spotlight, credibility gets shredded, and before anyone realizes it, the actual claims get buried under all the noise. Industry insiders say this move is no new, it's a calculated play. It's all about control, keeping people quiet, and making sure no one feels safe enough to keep the truth alive. And whether these accusations ever get proven or not, the fear surrounding them is real. At this point, many online are saying the silence and deflection feel louder than the accusations themselves, and that's exactly why the internet refuses to look away. Some people think the next person to come forward might be another man claiming he was hurt by a powerful figure, and many believe it won't stop there. The moment Sean Diddy Combs' name even gets mentioned, social media goes wild. People start digging up old interviews, rewatching past clips, and suddenly those moments everyone once ignored start looking completely different in hindsight. One viral comment making the rounds said people need to pay attention to how certain families operated behind closed doors, calling the whole situation heartbreaking and deeply confusing for the kids who grew up around it. Others took it even further, asking why so many well-known actors and rappers keep getting connected to these unsettling accusations. They say they're not out here trying to attack or defend anyone blindly. They just want to see the truth, the full picture.
because at this point, the number of stories piling up feels way too heavy to keep brushing off as coincidence. Something deeper might really be going on, and people aren't letting it slide this time. Right now, this whole conversation is wild. It's emotional, messy, and completely split down the middle. Some people say it's all rumors, but others are convinced there's way more truth hiding underneath it all. So now I gotta ask, what do you think? Do you believe Will Smith and Bryshere Gray's connection went beyond just a professional mentorship? And do you think Bryshere might have been pressured into something he couldn't walk away from? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop them down in the comments and tell me where you stand on this. Let's get into it and keep this discussion real. And hey, before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to keep the conversation alive.